Hey, what's up, guys? You're here with Goran, Kirk, and Jack for Pick Dawgz. The soccer crew is up early in the morning, guys. We have some interesting games on Sunday all over Europe, the top five European football leagues. You're getting a bunch of free picks for those games in this video. And we also have six different videos with those bigger games on the schedule on Sunday up on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel. So go up there, guys, check it out. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and of course, feel free to leave a comment. As you know, all three of us are more than happy to answer any of the questions you might have or give you some additional picks for a game that we might have skipped or something like that. So feel free to do that as well. Now, for our premium picks, click the links in the description of this video. That will get you up to our pages on the pickdawgz.com website, where you can sign up, where you can get those daily passes, 3-day passes, or even a 7-day pass if that's something you want to do. Now, Kirk, Jack, let's get this show on the road. We are going to kick it off with the third game in the EPL, Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. If I'm being honest, I did not like Chelsea at the start of the season, but they seem to have found their form. They're playing really well in that attack again, creating a ton of chances. And I potentially think this could be a very, very bad game for Nottingham Forest here, Jack.
Yeah, I mean it's been an up and down season for them so far. They've had good spells, but they've also had the really bad, and it now looks like Chelsea are really starting to get things going. I don't think their problem has been creating; it's more been getting Jackson to consistently finish. And Palmer's 4 goals in the first half last week is just unbelievable. So I'm going with over 5.5 shots on target for Chelsea at bang on even money. I think this is a great price. As I said, I think their problem is putting the ball in the net, not necessarily finding the target. So give me the over 5.5.
Now, Kirk, this is Chelsea's fourth home game in a row, and it certainly does help a lot not to have to travel for like a couple of weeks or so. But even on the road, they've kept a couple of clean sheets in a row, scored a bunch of goals, and they've actually scored 14 goals, actually 13 goals in their last three games. And we know that Nottingham Forest can be a bit shaky defensively.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Chelsea here with their goals at all, to be honest. But Chelsea has conceded twice in their last two games, two in each of those games. I think Nottingham get at least one here. So I'm going with both teams to score an over 2.5. I just don't see how this doesn't hit. We are paying minus 114, so it's a very good price.
I'm actually gonna ride this Chelsea wave until it crashes. I'm gonna take Chelsea to win it over 2.5 goals at plus 100. They simply look too well right now. Everybody seems to be in form, and they are quite effective as well. So looks like we all like the goals in this one, and hopefully Chelsea gets the win as well. Off to LaLiga, guys. Girona and Bilbao being the first matchup. Kirk, Girona played in the Champions League earlier this week. Bilbao played in the Europa League, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been a Conference League. I'll have to double check. But two teams. I don't know. Bilbao seems to be in a lot better form. And Girona haven't won any of their last six games, but this potentially feels like a decent spot for them to get at least a point.
Yeah, I think Girona is really going to struggle even at home. Bilbao's defense has really started to step up. They haven't lost a game in their last five matches. They've only conceded three times in those five games. I'm going with under 2.5 here at minus 122. I think it's probably going to be like a 1-2-0 athletic club win.
What do you like in this one, Jack?
This is just one of those games where I've seen the form of the away team so frequently this season, and it's just proven to be a trap. You look at the Dortmund game today, for example. Everything looked like they should have won, and they just didn't end up winning. I'm going with both teams to score. I think it's pretty good at even money. No, just under even money, minus 139. I think Girona grab one. I think Bilbao certainly get one. It's just are they going to finish the job?
Now, personally, I think this game could start a little bit slower, which is why I decided to take first half draw. With both teams playing midweek games, I think that they might both focus a little bit more on the defensive end. And like you said, Kirk, Atletico Bilbao is very solid defensively right now. Girona has to get their offense going, yes, but they also have to stop conceding goals, and that because that's been a big problem for them. Maybe they should take Eric Garcia back from Barcelona. I don't know. But I'm gonna take first half draw in this one at plus 112. Now, for our next matchup, guys, we have the Great Derby or the Grand Derby in Spanish La Liga. The matchup between two teams from Sevilla, with Sevilla hosting Betis, and those are always entertaining, Jack. If not for goals, then definitely for the roughness and all the fouls and the cards that we are getting.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I just don't know how I want to lean on this one. I mean, you look at the recent form of Betis, there really haven't been that many goals so far this season. The same can be said for Sevilla recently, just creeping over 2.5 a couple times and being under 2.5 quite frequently as well. With all that being said, you look at the last few matchups of these two teams 1-1, 1-1, 1-0, 0-0, 1-1. That's enough for me, Goran. Give me under 2.5.
Yeah, definitely feels like it could go that way. Sevilla a little bit better in their form than they were at the start of the season, still conceding goals. Betis coming off of a loss against Legia Warsaw in that Conference League. I don't know. Neither team just is performing steadily well in that attacking end. So I don't know. I'm gonna take the book out of that. I'm gonna take that page of the book that I had with Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid derby, and I'm gonna take a red card in this one, Kirk.
Yeah, I mean, always take the red card when Goran gives it out. He's 1-0. He's 1,000%. So let's hope you keep it at that. But I'm gonna keep it short. 5 of the last 5 games between these two teams have gone under 2.5, as Jack said. I'm on the under with him. We're getting the exact same price in this one.
I mean, 0-0 and about 2 red cards sounds about reasonable for this game. For our next matchup and the last one,
No, it was again another game where I think I actually my free pick was Atletico on the money line, and it was just one of those trap games. You think they're going to win, and they just don't. I'm going to go a bit more safe here, and even money, I was kind of surprised to see it because both teams have been finding the net, and it's Sociedad at home, so it's good enough for me. Give me both teams to score at even money.
Yeah, I would probably lean towards Atletico here, but after giving up 4 goals, there's going to be a big emphasis on defense, and I cannot trust Sociedad. I don't care that they've scored 4 goals in their last 2 games. They scored 1 goal before in their prior 5. I'm going with 0 goals in the first half here at plus 148. I think it's going to be a stalemate early on.
I will actually ride with Atletico Madrid in this one. It's plus 142. I think that they are the better team. Real Sociedad hasn't been scoring goals at all this season, and when they score, they are struggling on that defensive end as well. So I'm gonna ride with Atletico Madrid at plus 142. I think that they will do everything they can to bounce back in this game. Now we are off to Bundesliga, guys, where we have, as the first game, we have Heidenheim playing against Leipzig. Heidenheim coming off of a win in the Conference League. Yes, they got a 2-1 win. I believe that was their first ever game in Europe. But they're plus 365 underdogs here in this game, Kirk. Do you think this is justified considering how sloppy of a game Leipzig had against Juventus?
You know what I think of Heidenheim and Heidenheim at home. I'm going with Heidenheim on the double chance. I think they're pushing for top 6 this year, and Leipzig, they haven't conceded at home in the league, but on the road it's been a little bit different. So I could see Heidenheim getting a point out of this one at least. So give me Heidenheim on the double chance here at plus money.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a bit of a different route. I know that Heidenheim is on a 2-game winning streak, and they've been quite solid this season. They're still in the top half of the table, very close to the top four, scoring a bunch of goals, but they are just not used to playing multiple games a week, and I think that could have them a little bit distracted and tired, if nothing else. So I see this potentially as a good spot for Leipzig to bounce back, and I will take Leipzig on the money line. But what do you have, Jack?
Yeah, again, this is another really tough game, I think, to call this weekend. Certainly one of the toughest, but I have picked a side of the coin, and it's going to be towards Heidenheim here. I'm taking Heidenheim, draw no bet. I think this game could be a 1-1. It could just be a 1-0 for Heidenheim for me. So, yeah, I'm just concerned with Leipzig on the road recently. Yes, they beat Leverkusen, but since then they've not managed to pick up a result, only scoring one in the last two. So, yeah, give me Heidenheim draw no bet here.
Now, for the next game, the last one in Bundesliga, Jack, we have Stuttgart and Hoffenheim, and everybody and their grandma are expecting goals in this one. The over 2.5 is minus 400, and I do understand that Hoffenheim cannot defend, and yet somehow they kept a clean sheet in their match in the Conference League, actually Europa League or whatever it was. Stuttgart scoring a lot of goals. They are coming off of a win against who was it in the champ? No, actually it was a draw against Sparta Prague in the Champions League 1-1. A bit of a disappointing result, but do you agree with the books about the goals in this one, Jack?
I mean, look, if they're not giving that sort of odds on over 2.5, they're going to be losing a lot of money, I think, in the long run this weekend, right? So it's no surprise that we see the value, like the odds there, so low. That being said, I think both teams are off the back of some really good defensive performances. 3 shots on target only given up to Sparta Prague for Stuttgart this week, and Hoffenheim with a clean sheet, and that defense is going to be wanting to streak that. So the fact that we're getting plus money and over 3.5, it's just a lean, but I'm going to take it.
How about you, Kirk?
I think that's crazy, Jack. I think that's absolutely crazy. And I'm a big under guy, but I think this game's going to have. I was looking for over 6.5 in this one, to be honest. 4-3, 5-4, but I'm going with shots in this one because I couldn't find that line. I'm going with 15 plus shots on target in this game at plus 310. I just think this game is going to be open from the second it kicks off and just going to keep going that whole way.
Uh, Over 6.5 goals is plus 550, just in case you were wondering.
That's like they're basically expecting that.
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, when the over 2.5 is juiced to minus 400, it always makes me kind of skittish what's going to happen in this one because when we have a game like that, I honestly wouldn't be shocked if it ends in a 1-0 win for either side. So, I mean, hopefully we see some goals. I definitely like a game where we see a lot of goals, but I decided to stay away from it as well. And I'm going to take over 11.5 shots on target here at minus 150. That is the line the books have set. Kirk went that about 4 steps further than myself. Jack has under 3.5. I mean, we don't have to see goals in order to hit this shots bet. So, I don't know, 2-1 win for either side would be absolutely perfect as long as we see like 12, 13 shots, even 15 or 16,
Let,
according to Jack.
let's
Kirk,
let's all
sorry.
hope the goalkeeper. Let's all hope the goalkeepers have like 8 hands. Let's just hope for that, I guess.
Okay, after the Italian Serie A, guys, Juventus and Cagliari. I did mention that game, Kirk, that Juventus had against Leipzig. So they were what losing? Actually, it was 1-1. They conceded a red card, then they conceded a goal for 2-1, and then suddenly, somehow, they scored a couple of goals in the last 10 minutes of a game with a player short on the pitch to end up winning that game 3-2.
Yeah, you love replaying when Bundesliga teams lose in my head exactly how it goes down, don't you? But anyways, Juve, that was a big win for them, especially with a man down and a goal down late in the game. Props to them. I think they keep it going. They haven't conceded yet in Serie A in 6 games, which is just really, really impressive. They're back at home. They're going to just destroy Cagliari. It's an early game. So make sure you get your bets in early for this one. But I'm going with Juve minus 1.5 at plus 116.
I mean, Juventus hasn't lost to Cagliari in any of their last 14 home games, and Thiago Motta has done an outstanding job with this team. With all the players he has, he made like he built up the chemistry, he built up everything, and they're looking extremely well. Honestly, I think that if they can stay consistent, they could potentially win the title because Inter and Milan are not looking that well in this early season. I agree with you, Kirk. I'm gonna take Juve minus 1.5 at plus 110. But what do you have, Jack?
Yeah, really great picks. Again, I didn't really want to go with the same thing. I want to give obviously the guys an extra free pick here. I think I'm just a little bit worried of Juve's nil-nil draws this so far this season. They've either scored no goals or they've scored three, literally every game this season. So I'm going safe. I'm going down the middle. It can be nil-nil if they want it to be with my pick, as long as they get shots on target. So give me the over 5.5. I think if they're scoring three goals, this one goes way over 5.5 anyway.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot, and I'm also gonna personally put like half a unit on those shots on target as well. Bologna and Parma, guys. Bologna, we know that they're playing the Champions League. They lost another one to Liverpool. It was 2-0. Although they were playing at Anfield, the result was expected to be much worse. While Parma on the other side, they lost at home to Cagliari. They got a 2-2 draw against Lecce on the road. They lost to Napoli 2-1 on the road. They lost to Udinese 3-2 at home, and this team is not looking well right now. So I personally think that Bologna being minus 214 favorites is definitely justified in this game.
Is that my cue? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's my
All
bad.
good. All good. I'll take the reins. No problem. Yeah. It's a really weird line. I think like yes, it's kind of justified, but to that price, I'm not sure. I could honestly, I could see both sides. I could see vouchers for both sides here, all down straight down the middle. But one thing I am sure of is there's got to be cards. Both these teams have been super aggressive this season, and I'm getting over 4.5 cards at minus 167. So I think that's an easy one. This one could be done in the first half, if not by 60 minutes.
Actually, I might have a wrong price here on Bologna because I'm seeing it at minus 120 right now, so I might have mistyped that. It's not minus 214, and that is why I actually decided to take Bologna on the money line at minus 115 when I was making the graphics. It's minus 120 right now, but do your shopping, guys. Kirk, I see you're going against me in this one.
Yeah, when I looked at this game, I knew that we were going to be opposite. Same with one other game that we're talking about later. I knew we were just going to be opposite. And this is the one of the two. Parma, they've just been scoring a lot of goals in Bologna. They only have one win out of 6 games. I can't trust Bologna enough to keep up with how Parma's scoring, honestly. So I think Parma gets something out of this game. I'm taking them on the double chance at minus 110.
All right, moving on, guys. Lazio and Empoli. Lazio favorite at minus 167, coming off of a nice win against Nice in the Europa League 4-1 at home. They have been scoring a lot of goals lately, Jack. 10 goals in their last 3 games.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I'm looking at the over here. I think Lazio could easily score 3 goals just by their attacking prowess. And I think Lazio quite consistently managed to find a way to concede as well. And I think Empoli are going to be looking to try and get a few more goals. They haven't been scoring this much this season, but they're going to have to start scoring at some point. So I'm getting the over at pretty close to even money. So I'm happy to take it at that price.
I mean, they've conceded only twice on the road. Empoli has, and they are undefeated. But I think that that comes to an end fairly soon. I think that they are overperforming, and they're not playing against the strongest opponents. And Lazio right now is one of the strongest teams in Serie A. So personally, I'm gonna take Lazio to win an over 1.5 goals at minus 108. How about you, Kirk?
Yeah, as you said it, I think Empoli's run stops here. They've been really good this season, unbeaten in 7 away games. Haven't lost a game yet this season, but I think this is probably where it changes. Lazio on the money line's about minus 200, but with how Lazio's been scoring lately, I'm taking Lazio in the first half money line at plus 105.
Now, the last game in Serie A is between Monza and Roma. Roma suffered the first loss under the new head coach earlier this week against Elfsborg, 1-0 on the road. It was a late winner for Elfsborg, but Overall, Roma has been performing pretty well under new head coach, and Monza has been a little bit sloppy. They have only one win in their last 6 games, Kirk, and they're still without a win at home this season.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a game where Roma gets back to their defense. They've only conceded 4 times here, and Monza's only scored 4 times. I'm just going with the numbers here. I'm going with under 2.5 here at minus 140.
And exactly what you said, I think that Roma goes back to their defensive, I would say, power or whatever you want to call it, especially under a new head coach who likes to play that defensive football and then grind out the rest of the game. I think this could be a low scoring game, honestly, but I don't like the unders. It's minus 154 for the under 2.5. It is a bit juiced, which is why I simply decided to take Roma on the money line at minus 105. Jack, what do you like in this one?
Not much, not much. I don't like much in this one. Both teams to score, I looked at instantly. I think it's very possible. Roma solid defensively, yes, but it's Monza at home, and they have been finding the back of the net at home. So why not just give me both teams to score? Have it. Well, I mean, with that, it means we can't all win, actually. So yeah, I mean, I'll let you two fight out about that one.
That's it for Serie A, guys. We have Lyon and Nantes here in the French League One. Lyon, Jack, on a 3-game winning streak right now. They've scored 8 goals in those 3 games. They were able to keep one clean sheet, but conceded at least a goal in each of their last two. While Nantes on the other side, coming off of another draw, 2-2 against Saint Etienne, and I think they actually had a 2-0 lead in that game.
Yeah, and I'm sitting with you on this one here. I'm looking at Leon. I just think they're playing so good at the minute, and Nantes just haven't looked the same sort of caliber. I'm taking Leon on the money line. I'm getting it at a price much worse than yours. So go and do your shopping, folks, and of course, don't forget to use the PickDawgz website as well to shop around and get the best price going. But yeah, Leon money line. Don't need to say too much about this one.
Yeah, they definitely look quite well right now, at least in that attacking end. They're scoring goals. So I also have Leon on the money line. What do you like, Kirk?
Trap. This game's a trap. I'm telling you. I don't even have Nantes as a play, but this game is a trap. Nantes has been really good, losing only 1 game this season. They've scored in all of their last 5 games. They've conceded in 4 of those 5. I'm going with both teams to score here at minus 150.
Would you change your mind if I told you that Nantes has 7 injuries and one suspended player?
They're still scoring.
Well, do you think it's still a trap?
I think it's a trap. I do.
All right
100%.
then. I guess we'll see. For our next game, guys, we have Brest and Le Havre facing off. Brest coming off of I would say the ass whooping they give out to Salzburg 4-0 in the Champions League on the road. And they've actually won both of their Champions League games. I have to say, Kirk, I'm a bit surprised by that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by it too. I don't think this Brest team is really that good, or Salzburg's just that bad. If you thought last game was a trap, this is the real trap game. This is the absolute trap game. Le Havre, they're going to get something out of this game. I'm taking them on the double chance. I just don't think Brest is the team that they were last season. So they're about same in the standings. Both conceded 13 goals. Brest just has one more goal scored. So I think these teams are even quality. They're going to get at least a point out of this one.
I will tell you what Le Havre will get out of that game. That will be 3 goals in the back of their net. And Brest is getting the win out of this one. Hey, Jack?
Yeah, completely agree. I think the 3 back-to-back-to-back losses for Le Havre and Brest finding probably their best form of the season, and they also got the double against Le Havre last season, winning both home and away. So that's enough for me on this one.
Strasbourg and Lens is the next matchup, guys, in the French League One. Strasbourg in a quite a solid form, lost only one of their last 6, Jack, while Lens is now on a 4-game draw streak. They are not scoring a lot at all. They kept a couple of clean sheets. It's either 1-1 or 0-0 for them, but I'm looking at the injury list for Lens, and it's quite long. And on top of that, they also have a couple of suspended players.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. These two teams have just had goals coming in little drips and drabs this season. I'm taking the under 2.5. I'm surprised it was this good of a price. I can only really, if I'm honest, see one team scoring, and it's going to be 1-0 or 2-0. But yeah, give me under 2.5. No questions asked.
What do you think about this one, Kirk?
Yeah, as Jack said, only one team scoring, maybe zero. Lens has only conceded twice in 6 games, so I'm going with both teams to score equals no at plus 116.
I'm taking Strasbourg on the money line at plus 185 simply because Lens has so many injured players and a couple of suspensions as well. I think the lack of depth could be an issue here because Strasbourg actually has been playing pretty well in a decent form. I also agree it could be a low scoring game, yes, but I see Strasbourg coming out on top in this one. It's a small unit play, guys. Don't get crazy on it. It's plus 185 at home on the money line. They are still the underdogs, but I will give it a shot. And the last pick of this video, guys, Reims and Montpellier facing off. Reims minus 125 favorites at home against Montpellier, who's been all over the place this season, coming off of another loss on the road. And this is actually their, what, fourth, fifth loss on the road in a row, Jack.
Yeah, Montpellier though, you just look at their season so far; it's been an absolute disaster, especially on the road. One interesting stat that I didn't realize and didn't see before was actually the away side in the last 3 meetings have won, but I just don't think Montpellier have the caliber to do that this time. Give me Reims. I'm looking at 1-0, 2-0, no problem. Reims on the money line.
I mean, Montpellier scored only one goal so far on the road this season while conceding 11, and that's an average of 3.5 conceded goals per game on the road so far this season. So they are horrible on the road. And Reim on the other side, undefeated in their last 5 games, Kirk, but also winning 3 of those 5 games. They are scoring goals. They are playing pretty solid football. So I will also join you in this one, Jack. I will take Reim on the money line.
Copy that. Let's end this one with all three winners. That's what we do. We end it and we all agree, and that's why we're the best in the business.
Except we don't when we all agree.
They don't
We're
need to
about
know
to go.
that.
We're about to
It's
go
on
one and
you.
three. It's okay.
There we go. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining us here. These were your free picks for the soccer in Europe on Sunday, October 6th. Have a great day, everyone. Good luck with all of your bets, and we'll see you soon with more free picks.